morning Year 6 and welcome to Wednesday's maths video. Today we're going to continue looking at constructing pie charts. First of all, I'd like to do Fluent in 5, pause the video, have a go. So if you pause the video, let's look at the answers. The missing number was 700, our multiplication total was 3017, the fraction of our amount was 120, because remember times is the same as of, so it's 6/7 of 140. Then adding our fractions together gives us 8/6 or 1 2/6. And then our missing number again was 4,405. Well done if you got that right. So we are going to look now, a bit like we did in the very first session, of just working out how much each unit of data is worth in degrees. So if you think back to that very first video, we worked out that we had 36 votes and we had 360 degrees. And if we were going to share our 36 votes between our 360 degrees, between our 36 votes, each vote was worth 10 degrees because we divided our total number of degrees by our number of votes. And that's all we're going to do today. We're going to look at working out how much each degree is worth. Because when you've got percentages, it's quite nice and easy. If your pie chart represents 100%, then you just place it on like you did yesterday and your total is 100. But if you're doing it with degrees and you're using a protractor, then it's not quite as simple as 100, we're working with 360. So we are looking today at how you would calculate what each unit is worth in degrees. So, 180 children were asked, what is your favourite flavour of crisp? How many degrees does each child represent? We've got 180 children, and remember we've got 360 degrees in total. How many degrees would each single child represent? Have a think. So each child would represent 2 degrees because we've got 360 degrees in total. We've got 180 children that were asked, so each single child is worth 2 degrees because it's 360 divided by your 180. It's always the number of degrees, which is 360 in a full circle, divided by your total units of data. So each child is worth 2 degrees. So then how do we work out how many degrees salt and vinegar would be? How do we work out how many degrees cheese and onion would be? Have a think, how would you do that? Now you know how much one child is worth, how would you work out how many children to represent for your pie chart for salt and vinegar? So if you know that each child is worth 2 degrees, and you've got 64 children for salt and vinegar, you do 64 times 2, and that will tell you how many degrees for salt and vinegar. Here you've got 48 children, so each child is worth 2 degrees, so you do 48 times 2 to work out how many degrees for that flavour. Same, etc. So you would have 128 degrees for your salt and vinegar, 96 degrees for your cheese and onion, 36 degrees for your ready salted, 56 degrees for your prawn cocktail, and 44 degrees for your other flavours. If I was to add all of those degrees together, I would come to 360 because it's a full circle. If I was to add all the numbers of children together, I would come to 180 because it's our full set of data. So, we're not doing the pie charts at all today. You're not converting it into a pie chart. You're just working out how many degrees each piece of data is worth. So here is the one for you to do yourself. 90 adults were asked what they would first buy if they won £1 million. 33 adults said a new car, 17 said new clothes, 27 said a holiday, 9 said a house, and 4 said other. So I need you to work out how many degrees would represent each adult. Think about how to do that. Pause the video and have a go. Here's your next one. Scientists analysed how children spent the 1,440 minutes of each day on average. 118 minutes were spent watching TV or playing video games. 108 was spent eating or washing. 664 was spent sleeping. 36 was spent reading. And 444 was spent doing something else. So think about how would you work out how many degrees represent each minute? And then how many degrees would represent each activity? Pause it and have a go. So the answers then. He had 90 adults and they were asked how they would spend that £1 million. Now you know that in your full pie chart you have 360 degrees. So you do 360 degrees, your amount in total, divided by 90, your amount of adults. That tells you how many one adult is worth. So each adult is worth 4 degrees. You then times it by your number of adults. So you would do 4 times 33, which gives you 132, or 4 times 7, which gives you 68. Now you'll notice in our calculation box there's a slightly different calculation. That's because there's another way of doing it. If you don't know, instead of doing 360, divided by 90, you can also do 33, the amount of adults, divided by 90 and times by 360. A little bit like if you were trying to work out a percentage, you might divide the amount of people divided by the total amount of people times 100. So it's similar. So you can do 33 divided by 90 and then times that by 360, or 17 divided by 90 times that by 360, or you can work out how much 1 degree is worth by doing 360 divided by your total number of adults. You find 1 degree and then you can times that by 33, 17 or 27. But hopefully, whichever method you used, you found that there were 132 degrees for new cars, 68 degrees for new clothes, 108 degrees for a holiday, 36 degrees for a house, and 16 degrees for something else. Now, if you were then to convert that into a pie chart, you would measure those degrees and you would have a full 360. The next one, so you needed to do 360 degrees in total divided by your 1,440 minutes. You then would find that you had 0.25 degrees per minute. 0.25 times 188 gives you 47. 0.25 times 108 gives you 27, etc. Or you could do your number of minutes divided by your number of minutes in total times 360 degrees. Whichever way you do it, you get the same answer, which gives you 47 degrees, 27 degrees, 166 degrees, 9 degrees, and 111 degrees. So this is all working out how much each degree would be worth, and then how much each segment would be in degrees. Well done for surviving today. I will see you tomorrow for more maths videos.